So I'm sitting in the office, tapping away on my keyboard, trying to get on with my work this morning, but I'm struggling. I'm kind of distracted, and that's because I'm just feeling negative today. I'm feeling sorry for myself, frustrated. Why am I like this? Why do I find it so hard to communicate with my coworkers, with the people around me? Why does it feel like sometimes I can't stop myself from overthinking every single word, even when it's just something basic? So the guys around me, I work with like a group of maybe like somewhere between 15 and 20 people, and it's mostly guys my age. So you'd think we'd have a lot to talk about. And there are lots of like lively, energetic, fun conversations going on. Yet I never seem to be a part of them. That's not because I don't share any common interests with these guys. It's because I've been like this for so long. Anytime I see an opportunity, anytime I see a gap where maybe some other guys are talking about something, and I think, oh, I could contribute to that, I could share my thoughts, something happens inside of me which makes me hesitate. It's like some part of my brain has been conditioned to weigh up the risk versus the reward of saying anything at all in the world. The thing these guys were talking about today, I had these two guys sitting either side of me, so I couldn't help but like kind of listen in on the conversation. They were not even talking about something fun. They were talking about something which I knew this conversation wouldn't last that long. It was about like solar panels. Solar panels, bro, like heating. It's not really like the most enthralling topic in the world, but I knew I could have said something there. Like, I have solar panels back home. I could have said a little bit like that. I could have recommended like a certain type of solar panel to this guy. But even something like that, I hesitated. And it's not like I'm ignoring it because I deem it to be unimportant. Like, you could say that, but this was a conscious thought in my head. I should share my thoughts on this thing. And then I tell myself not to. This is something I'm still struggling with, even now, like just sharing my thoughts. And I'll tell you what went through my head as I taught myself out of saying that. It was this little voice saying, well, who cares? Who asked you? Did anyone invite you to this conversation? So often that's what goes through our heads. We just think no one's really going to be interested. We devalue our own thoughts and perspective. And really, anytime this happens to you, you're not reacting to right now. You're not reacting to the present. You're reacting to the past. When we overthink, we often think that we're just born overthinkers. Like, you know, I'm just a neurotic person. I just overthink more than others. And that's my problem. But overthinking is something we condition ourselves into. To that level, to the point of like, I need to make sure I don't say the wrong thing here. Every single word has to be like tailored and pass through this filter to make sure I'm not going to make a fool of myself here. That's something we get conditioned into. That is a symptom of a wider problem, which is having gone through many experiences in life where we're just made to feel unsafe. Sounds kind of like, what's the word? Sounds kind of snowflake saying it like that. Made to feel unsafe, but it's true. Overthinking is something your brain and your nervous system evolved to do because you were put in so many situations, not just one, but repeatedly, where if you said the wrong thing, there'd be negative consequences for that. Anytime you hear that little voice that says, who cares? That's nearly always a stand-in for someone from the past, someone who inflicted this like emotional pain on you. And for me, it always goes back to school. Like school is such a toxic environment. It leaves so many people with these like mental scars that they're not even aware of. Like I left school probably like 6 years ago now, and I'm still dealing with this. The fact that my natural response when I hear something that I could get involved in is to just shut up and keep quiet. That's very telling. That's because I spent my formative years in an environment where the only way I could stay safe and avoid ridicule was just keeping my head down. Was just shutting the fuck up and trying to go unnoticed. Because when I didn't, I just get made fun of. I get humiliated in public. It could be things like putting your hand up in class and getting the answer wrong. Everyone laughs. It could be trying to kind of just share something. I'll tell you the moment where I had this really toxic friend group. This just came into my head now. I had this really toxic friend group for years. And the moment I consciously decided to ditch them was I'd made some new friends over summer. And I've been having like a really good summer with these new guys. Going out, and I was like 16, 17. Going to like a couple of parties, drinking in the summer nights. And as bad as these old friends had been to me, I remember coming into school after that summer. And I wanted to share that with them. I wanted them to know, like, you know, I've been having fun. And I want you guys to experience this too. I want us to go and do things like that. And as soon as I told them these stories, like something which was kind of straight from the heart, they just kind of made fun of me. Like that's the worst part. Like this is the most damaging. When you're being genuine and authentic with the things you say, sharing something that you feel passionate about, and other people just fucking shit on that and tear you down. That's the thing. That is what causes this hesitation inside of us. It's like, I've opened up to you and this is what happens. Now I need to protect myself. That's what overthinking is. Overthinking is your nervous system scanning for any and all danger in your environment, even danger that no longer exists. Phantom danger. Danger from the past. It's these situations that train our nervous system to just work overtime, react to fear and danger that isn't even there. And honestly, just being aware of all of this, like in the moment after this happens with these guys from work, that was like quite a relief to me. Because in the past, I'd just be sitting there like beating myself up. Like, why am I such an awkward freak? Why do I just have no confidence in myself? And now I'm able to tell myself, okay, I'm just having a bad day. You know, sometimes this happens to me. Given the things that I've been through, it makes sense that I would like react this way. But the one thing you can do to stop overthinking in this situation, and it's going to sound like a gross oversimplification, but I'm going to explain what I mean. It's those opportunities to speak up where it feels like the wrong thing to do, where it feels difficult, uncomfortable to share your thoughts. Especially things like today, like all in all, like it was a pretty low stakes thing to talk about, like solar panels. That's a boring topic, but I had thoughts to share on it. Those are the perfect opportunities to train away this like subconscious fear that we have. speaking up when you don't feel like it is powerful. When you realize that the entire world isn't going to end, that everyone sounds irrational, but there's some part of me that believes the people around me just hate me, or they're going to hate me. And the only reason they haven't yet is because they don't really know me. But speaking up when it doesn't feel like natural to you, and then just letting the world be, like observing that nothing bad's going to happen to you, that actually the people around you, like, they're just normal, that they aren't all going to turn against you. That's powerful. And this like micro exposure, like using these opportunities tactically when they come up, looking at them as opportunities, that is the only way to train away this like fear. It's just getting your thoughts out there. Another level we can take this to, which I've been trying to like do some work on, is I've seen the perspective that you should treat every single word that comes out of your mouth as like a gift. I know it sounds kind of like arrogant, but there's some people in this world, and they're not arrogant, but they're so self-assured, and they have like their self-worth in check. How they feel is not dependent on like other people's reaction to what they say. They're just saying what they want to say without looking for an outcome. And for them, that's enough. Like, I definitely feel some level of pressure to make the things that I say like really interesting or funny, to come across in a certain way. But that's what causes this like analysis paralysis, overthinking. Because the majority of things we say are not actually like gonna be that interesting. Having like a deep or genuine connection with someone, it feels as good as it does because it's rare. Maybe it's only like 5% of the whole conversation. The rest is going to be like quite mundane. But it's those people who have this like perspective. Everything I say is valuable. Like, I'm sharing like a gift with you. They don't overthink. They don't get nearly as anxious because of that frame that they're coming from. It's like, actually, like, I'm not performing for anyone. If anything, I'm performing for myself. Like, kind of in a way, like, I'm the shit. I guess I'm kind of rambling at this point. Probably end the video here. But just some things to think about. Train that skill of speaking up when you don't feel like it. Recognize that your unique and individual perspective, like your words alone, that's valuable. Don't ever let anyone feel like you can't just like express yourself, like just your simple, basic thoughts. Take care, man. See you soon.